Hello, everybody.
Hello!
Thank God.
Hello.
You guys were posting some cursed shirts, and I was like, man, I'm gonna walk into a.
You didn't even have to tell nobody. You didn't have to tell people what we was. You didn't have to let them know that Dodger is a pervert.
They already knew.
They already knew. It's cool.
But like, you didn't have to say it.
I did. Bro, I didn't. You did.
In metal text with a skeleton picture. My balls itch.
God damn it.
I'm gonna buy it though.
Gonna buy
need that shirt.
Genuinely, probably actually going to buy that one for
Yeah,
friends.
it's a very good one.
I'm
You
gonna
go,
I'm
That's a
gonna
good
like
shit.
buy a bunch of those and just pass them out.
Here are the thing about these cursed shirts is I look, in my younger days, I would see these shirts and be like, that's a funny shirt, I should get that. And then I get the shirt and I look at the shirt, I'm like, oh yeah, I'm excited about this, and I put it away. And then when I'm looking for a clean shirt, I look down, I'm going into a public place, I'm like, I don't know if I want to wear the My Balls Itch shirt out at the grocery store.
Yeah, I've entered into an arc of my life where there is a tiny pile of shirts and sweaters that I literally can't wear if I need to be picking my child up from school or taking her to school. And that's sad, but also that's, you know what? That's grown up. Yeah.
You can still have them in your heart, Dodger.
I still have them. Yeah.
Remember Sam talking
way.
about some of his like succubus merch from Manda that he couldn't wear to go pick up Clark.
Yeah.
I say you wear it with honor. You go down there and you just tell everyone your balls itch, the other parents.
My balls itch. I don't know what to tell you. Speaking of balls itching, I know that has nothing to do with this segue. You guys are back on the Moon Blaster. Give me 1 second. Yeah. So also, as a heads up to everyone, we are now using the official D&D module of Foundry. Wizards of the Coast and Foundry partnered up, and Wizards released a brand new D&D module. So there's going to be a little bit of growing pains, but there's been a lot of cool quality of life assurances that have been added because of that. So yeah. Also, I think we can do. Yeah, you could also change your character sheets down to the default to the new 5e character sheet if you'd like, which is super cool. I don't know if you'd want to or not, but yeah. So there's gonna be some options. Things might look a little differently because we're still trying to troubleshoot what add-ons work best with this module. So pardon our dust while we get it going. But we were playing a little bit with it with Dawn of Ganymede yesterday, and there was some real cool shit, like spells that you cast that would make you that you require concentration now give you the concentration buff like automatically, and whenever you take damage, the chat auto-calculates a concentration DC that you could immediately make a Constitution saving throw for.
That's nice.
So it does that. Also, we were used to it where red means critical miss, green means critical hit. It's no longer that. If you are ever making a saving throw or you're using the button in the chat, green just means you passed the save, or red means you didn't pass the save. So there might be a little confusion with that, but it just lets you know that, hey, you either made it or you didn't make it. So that's another cool little change that has happened. So
Me see color, brain go, oh.
but yeah, it's been really cool. So I'm hoping to find out what else it is, but it's a very impressive module so far, and we've had very little issues with it. So it's good shit. It's good shit. All right. Yes.
Am I the only one that can't get the game to load?
It took me a little bit.
In there.
Yeah, make sure you delete the /game and hit enter. Sometimes that allows you to refresh a little bit. Or just try and refresh. That's also a thing you can do.
You think I haven't refreshed? You think I've been sitting here this whole time going, what could I possibly do? I refresh.
Dodger's got a little bit of a head cold, Chad, in case you didn't know. If you're wondering why Dodger's this way right now.
This is what's fucked up, Brett.
Yeah.
Is like I was saying to Jesse earlier, if you watched my stream,
You were fine.
I was fine.
I did watch your stream.
I
You
know
were like,
you did.
I watched your stream too. You were fine.
You were like, "Oh, Mama Hera, Dodger likey," and I was like, "Yeah, that sounds like Dodger."
I was
And now-
licking the screen. I was barking, and now look at me. This is what I get.
You had germs on your screen. Shouldn't have licked it.
Yeah,
So true.
should have been kissing all those pretty boys and gals, you know?
Yeah, hilariously, you did specifically say what could go wrong from liking Hera. Verbatim, you said that. So I'm just saying.
I did like Grandma though. I don't know who Grandma was, but she was rocking it in Hades.
Everybody's good.
Everyone's good.
Everybody's so good.
I'm excited to play it. I haven't played it yet.
Oh, dude, it's so good. We were saying that. Sorry, I know this has nothing to do with our D&D game.
Is your
but
game loaded?
It is.
Okay, you may continue.
You should have said nope, not yet.
No,
You
it's
may
not.
continue.
So you have to sit here and listen to me talk about Hades.
I said I was gonna listen to it. You're right. You don't be so aggressive, dude.
I just wanted to goof.
Sorry. Go on.
we were saying that that the dev team that Supergiant have confirmed that Hades 2 has more content in early access. First week of early access has more content in it than Hades 1 had on full release,
Awesome.
which is bonkers. So yeah, there's lots to do. Masae, you'll love it.
I'm so excited. I'm stoked.
You might bark. You might bark a little bit.
I will bark a lot. I've
I'm not
seen
sure
a
what
few
you're
already,
into,
and I
but-
did some barking, dude.
You might bark, you might wolf, you might even awoo, you know? We'll see what
Oh, there's gonna be lots of awoos.
Yeah.
I did.
Awoo,
I
girl.
awooed. I barked.
Awoo!
All right. Let's get to it, shall we? So, we're starting you guys over in the Moon Blaster because the season 3 ended rather sorrowfully with actually, I guess there is. We're gonna start with some questions. Okay, so let me do what happened last session, but I've already got some questions popping in my head. You guys are starting at Moon Blaster. You guys are heading back home to IO. You have just killed Karis Creed and her makeshift clones that she had been creating in the laboratory of one Dr. Ignatius Hellebore. But the harrowing discovery was that Ignatius Hellebore was in fact one of the plant creatures, perhaps in control by Evangeline Hellebore. And with this sort of primal scream, he had tried to get his son away, essentially. Like, you gotta go, you've got to get out of here. The fate of Lily Hellebore is unknown because of Piper / Hellebore's trying to communicate and not getting a response except shrieking pain within their head. But also Ignatius Hellebore had left a gift for the young Piper Hellebore. And that was a clone that he had been working on for his son as a sort of final gift to bestow upon. Now, I will say Ignatius Hellebore was kind of left sealed back there. But I do want to ask: would there have been anything that you would have been doing, Piper? With that? Would you have left him in the undersea lab, or what would you have done? Because unfortunately, his power is, like, even through basic checking, like, it is astronomical. Not only is Ignatius Hellebore an extremely powerful individual on their own, but in this monstrosity form, there would be no control, and you would essentially have to do everything in your power to put down the doctor. while in this unstable state. So, that would be the first question I would like to ask. Is Piper, what would you have done? What would you have done with Ignatius? Would you have just left him sealed there in the lab and taken any extra precautions? I leave it to you.
Ideally, he doesn't want to kill his dad. So the first thought would have been like, is there a way to keep all of this sealed so he doesn't get out, or like until at least I can come back at a later time?
Okay. So, one of the first things you probably would have checked over with that door, specifically in the room that Ignatius is currently in, is the door itself is heavily sealed. Even with the sheer physical force of Ignatius Hellebore, trying to break through the door during the Karis fight, it was able to withstand him. You would have also seen that there were several like digital security locks taken into place, almost as if Ignatius Hellebore, maybe not necessarily had planned for this outcome, but just in case rooms needed to be sealed and not broken into for some time being. Safe to assume that Ignatius, in his last control of consciousness, was able to place those on a timed lock before you were able to leave, and then sealing himself within there. So yes, you would have taken the extra precautions there. In fact, as you were moving certain vats onto the ship, you probably would have heard a sort of heavy, maybe even suppressed breathing from that door, almost as if the consciousness remaining of Ignatius Hellebore was doing everything in his power to not lose control, even though he had outright transformed later on. So yeah, so you theorize Ignatius may still be somewhere within this monstrous form, even though if he's struggling to keep in control.
Yeah, I feel like he'd probably even say as much, like, through the door to him, like, we'll be back once we figure out how to either stop or reverse that. But would make sure everything is sealed as best as he could.
Yeah, the heavy breathing would continue. Like I said, it's just, it sounds like he's doing everything he can to not lose control like he did before, so. All right. There would be 2 vats that you would be able to bring onto the ship that would be able to need some work. One vat would contain the clone that was being worked on by Dr. Ignatius Hellebore for Piper to hopefully, potentially split Piper and Hellebore into their own individual bodies. In fact, that is why, well, first of all, Hellebore, this is Hellebore not illusioned. But also, yeah, there would be a vat that would sort of, and Summer, I'd like you to feel free to correct me on this, you know, because I don't want to power roleplay your character. But it's safe to assume that there are 2 consciousnesses within Hellebore, one of Piper and one of Hellebore. Would you consider that correct?
Yes.
Okay. So, what the clone vat is able to do is to essentially take a part of that consciousness into the body. Unfortunately, that is something that does take a bit of time. So if you were going through the process here on the Moon Blaster, you probably would have experienced a little bit of some surgical wounds. Maybe even had like some of your head wrapped a little bit. Fortunately for you, because of how your body is sort of this mishmash, almost this walking chimeric individual that you are, you would be able to to be able to walk and roam around your world, but it feels lonely right now, as the consciousness that is Piper would be currently within the clone that is being created, which is a process that the vat has to go through itself as the instructions that have been given to you. You're hoping that by the time you guys arrive in Io that the process may be complete, but as of right now, I would say it is just you and you alone. How's Hellebore feeling about that?
I think he's very spacey at the moment. He kind of just stares at the vat a lot and like out the window a lot.
Here's some questions then. We are in the Moon Blaster, which means Joe, you have control of both Victor and Buddy. Where would Buddy have wanted to put these clone vats?
I think probably just in the safest place that he could have. So maybe right in the storage somewhere.
In the storage area? Okay. And what we'll do then is we'll have this sort of, here we go. We'll have a vat sort of sitting right here of what's being formed. That is being plugged over there. And you could see that the features taking shape. Most of the features have already been done when it comes to Piper. So this is more making sure that the vessel itself does not reject the consciousness of Piper. Cloning is this is weird as it sounds. Cloning's easy because all you have to do is put in a set of parameters. In fact, if you were to actually take a look at what Karis was doing, she essentially had uploaded her DNA into the other clone vats to sort of create these clones. And there really wasn't much quote-unquote programming done to them. At the end of the day, they were just meat puppets that Karis was controlling. However, there was one that she did not manage to finish that was kind of in the middle of the process. And Isla, that would be the other vat that you guys would have found. And we had talked about this between sessions, but I believe you have taken, what was I about to say? You had taken that vat, correct? Because it essentially was a Karis, almost a Karis vessel without that. So we will move this over here. And even though we are using Karis, you're kind of seeing this vat almost take a different shape. But also you haven't begun that process yet, because if you are doing what I think you're going to be doing, then Isla would have to not be conscious for it.
Right. I see.
Yes. So you kind of have this half-formed Karis within the vat that's over there. So with that, what would Isla be doing during the journey back home?
Isla would probably be really withdrawn. She has a lot on her mind. So she'd probably be finding little corners to sit in, and she probably wouldn't be offering very much of her thought process. But every once in a while, she'd probably wander around to the vat, take a peek, have a surge of feelings, and then wander away again.
The question that
she's popping in and out.
I understand. The question that I would have for you, though, is if you do want to begin the consciousness transference process, that is something you would have to start sooner rather than later, because it is a process. Otherwise, you remain Isla. And that's just the way it has to be.
Honestly, if it had been run by her and explained to her this could be you, I cannot imagine Isla not taking it.
All right. So would you have begun the process then?
Yeah. She
All
would
right.
do it.
So then for this trip, you'll actually see Isla sitting on this chair. She's got all these like wires and these like hooked to her head over to this vat. And you're kind of watching as this, her consciousness is being transferred. And because of that, she is sealed away.
Peace, y'all.
Yeah. Okay. Logan, what are you doing? I see you just kind of roaming around the ship.
Looking for our bug boy.
Yes. So arriving onto the ship, you will, as you're kind of like looking around, let's see here. Boop. Let me go ahead and do this. So as you're looking around, you'll kind of crossing over here a little bit, Logan. You'll kind of watch as Pinchy is sitting in one of the cells. Just kind of leaning down a little bit, thinking to himself. And he'll look over to Logan.
Well, what are you doing in there?
Thinking. You'll actually see Pinchy's demeanor isn't as sour or sorrowful as it was before, but definitely a little contemplative about things.
About what?
He'll motion over to you, as if to offer a spot. He's been kind of staring out this window for a little bit.
Yeah, I sit down in the cell next to him.
Yep.
Trying to figure out what my purpose is in all this. I got rid of the glaive. Just doesn't feel like who I am anymore. I haven't felt that way in a while. You know, I'm so used to fighting, getting what I need through brute force.
He kind of like punches like his fist over there. He's like,
But I feel like there's something else.
and he looks down a little bit. You'll let a moment fall before he turns to you and state,
What about you? Find that peace you were looking for?
I thought maybe I had, but it appears I'm in the same boat as you. I don't really know my place, but I do know I belong here with the rest of them and with you.
and just kind of lean forward, leaning a bit on his knees, like shoulders on knees, looking forward, and he'll nod too and state,
Yeah, that's pretty much the one conclusion that I came to as well. I might not know what I meant to do, but
and he'll kind of again stare out of the window a little bit and say,
but I know here is where I'm supposed to do it. Maybe I need to go on this journey with you. Maybe it's not so much about me, but my people and the rest of the Chi civilization. Conquering an endless war. I used to think that is what life is all about for the Chi. But now I'm not so sure.
I used to think life was all about revenge. I feel like I'm on the same ship as you. He kind of chuckles and looks out the window.
mm-hmm.
Maybe we'll end up wherever we're going together.
He turns over to you. You'll see him chitter his little teeth a little bit because he can't really see. He doesn't really give facial expressions too much, but that little chitter that he does usually is a signifier of happiness, as you've grown accustomed to since you've been traveling with Pinchy for quite some time. And he'll kind of put a little hand over on your shoulder, and he'll be like,
"It's fine, you know. I wouldn't have done that unless I wanted to. As much as I respect you, Logan, you can't force me to do what I don't want. I was right there with you. We needed action."
he just kind of pounds the bench a little bit.
Yeah, Logan like holds onto his hand, and it says, "Yes, it's what we wanted, but the further we are away from it, I'm still not sure it's what we needed, but you have my friendship for your actions, and I still regret it."
Me too. Something we can share together for quite some time. Yes?
Yes.
I do have to thank you.
Yeah, go on.
Oh. No, as I say, he just keeps looking out the window.
Yeah. He'll say,
I do have to thank you for something. I remember when we traveled to Europa for the first time. You and I were maybe not in a spot like this, but we were staring out at the stars together. It was a moment of peace and tranquility, something I had never experienced before in my life. You showed me that peace.
Logan laughs, says, Oh, I'm glad you found it then. I believe was just lying to myself. I don't think I found peace. I was trying, but I failed. But I'm glad you did.
he shakes his head and says,
I think you misunderstood. I found the path to it. But I think the conclusion I came to while waiting for you to return is that I don't think it's something we're ever going to find. Just a journey we're going to be in a part of. A lifelong mission to find that peace. Don't be discouraged, Logan. If you haven't found it yet, it's because it's something you're always gonna have to look for. And something I'm going to look for.
and you'll see he holds out his hand a little bit. And he mentions,
we were always told that there were drones and warriors, and the elders who led us. The elders were gifted by a power of the Hive Mother.
kind of holds up his hand a little bit.
Given a mystical force that is said to lead us and fulfill the fortunes of battle, but
Then you'll watch his hand begin to let out a faint glow. This sort of faint, warm aura comes from it.
I think that was something they were telling us to keep us suppressed. In that moment of silence, that path to peace, I think I may have found something.
And then he will place his hand over on your shoulder. And you'll feel this warm glow. It's very comforting and almost soothes your emotions a little bit. And he looks at you and he'll say,
I think I got it wrong. I don't need to fight my enemies to take care of you. I just need to protect you. To protect all of you. So even though I may never raise a weapon again, just know that I will be with you, protecting all of you and ensuring harm does not befall you. If that's okay. If you would still have me.
Yeah, Logan keeps looking out into the stars and then just says, yeah, that's okay.
I was going to take another moment of silence here. Would you like to join me?
Moments of silence are my favorite, especially on this ship.
You'll watch as Pinchy kind of looks around the corner, kind of peeking down the hallway, kind of looking at everyone, and just says,
I'm uncertain of what has happened. How is everyone? How is their spirit?
You know that path we're on? I think they've got their own as well. We'll see, I suppose.
Till the end, friend.
Till the end.
and then the two of you will kind of continue staring out the window, staring in silence.
Yep.
Good scene, good scene. All right. Dash.
Yes. Hello.
Hello.
What are you currently doing?
How long has it been since we got back on the ship?
I think you've been traveling for half a day now.
Okay.
You probably would have taken a day or so to pack everything up because it would have taken some time. And that you guys have been traveling back to Io. And you're currently half a day. It's about a 2 days travel back.
I think Dash has been relatively quiet. He's trying to be supportive. I think he probably helped with all of the tube body shit that's going on with these two. And he has his feelings and his opinions on it, but is trying to just make sure that everybody's okay. And I think generally at this point, after trying to get everybody to eat and stuff, he's probably just sort of sitting nearby in case his presence is helpful. Probably not saying much.
Hellbor. What are you doing currently?
He's very spacey, just trying to get used to the absence, I guess. The emptiness. But he definitely takes note of Dash being there and being supportive. And you ready for serious talk, Dodger?
Always, dude. It doesn't sound like it, but I'm not sarcastic.
I am. Let's go.
I think at some point when the back is all cleared and like people are in other rooms or like doing other things when they have a time to be alone, he would kind of look over at Dash and just be like, so what do you think of all this?
Oh, wait, are you guys in a separate room?
Oh, it'd probably just be in here. You just wait till everybody like was out of the room.
Oh, gotcha. Then before that happens, let me go to Victor and see what Victor's doing.
Yeah, I think he's trying to stay out of everyone's way. Like feeling a little, I suppose, kind of like he's missed a lot.
Mm-hmm.
So he recognizes he's kind of not trying to paint a target on himself.
Mm-hmm.
So I think he's probably just wandering through the ship, eyeing it for the
He
first
wanders to
time.
the cockpit and then
Yeah,
sits in the cockpit.
he's talking with Buddy.
Yeah.
Oh,
I don't know. I feel like he might go to the. Oh, so I'm getting lost in the own ship.
No, good.
I think he'd probably go all the way up to like the viewing room
The front area, just kind of
and
viewing.
yeah, just contemplating there.
He's looking out. He looks to his side. Buddy's there navigating the ship. Buddy nods over. You nod back.
Yeah, I don't think I don't think Victor wants to get involved in any of those conversations right now. He's more waiting, kind of like he realizes people will approach him at some point when they need him, and until then he's getting out of people's way.
Okay.
well, before we took off, you definitely got a random book of shadows thrown at your head.
Oh yeah,
That's true. You got a book from the Warlock.
what's
before.
about that?
Halibor would have definitely given that to him as like a welcome back gift.
Fuck you. Throws book. Okay.
Yeah, I think for the first time he's realizing what was thrown at him, and he just kind of like pats aside, takes open the book, and gives it a read.
So access to some more Warlock spells.
Oh.
Okay. Actually, let me check something real quick.
Check away.
Yeah. Okay. Loretta's book. Oh my God! What do we do? What do we do? Ooh, yeah, you got some good spells here, including I think some spells that as a warlock you might not get. Does yeah. Hold on, let me check something. I don't wanna hype it up, but
Does a warlock get Eldritch Blast?
does a warlock get Eldritch Blast? Yeah, you get that. Oh no. Okay. So I will let you know. Oh yeah, there's a bunch of spells here that you would normally not get. Now that you have access to this book, and now that Victor's here, let me read off the spells that you have access to now, including some new cantrips.
Should I write these down, or is it going to be in the thing?
You can write it down. I can also make it a thing that you can look at. But I'll read it out because I know.
Yeah.
You know, shall be real. So first off, you get inflict wounds.
Oh,
As a warlock.
that's a sexy ass warlock spell right there.
Yeah, always casting max at max level. Yeah, you get a powerful just force grip on right there. So keep in mind some of these spells you actually might not have access to depending on your level. But you do have inflict wounds. Everyone's level 10, right?
Yeah, thanks.
Yeah.
Enervation.
Oh, that's a fun one.
Black tentacles.
Oh.
For your cantrip, you've already got Eldritch Blast, obviously. Vicious Mockery.
That's fitting.
Thaumaturgy and Message.
Nice.
You also get Expeditious Retreat.
Oh, that's really useful.
Darkness.
Very cool.
Flaming
Very
Sphere.
fitting. Nice.
Ray of Enfeeblement.
Holy shit. Okay.
Dispel Magic.
Huge.
Mass Healing Word.
That's ludicrous. Okay. Okay, cool.
Protection from Energy.
Okay.
Freedom of Movement.
That's a fun one.
Guardian of Faith.
I can't wait to see how that's going to manifest.
Oh, it's gonna manifest as a big, scary,
Fucking, yeah,
Eldritch
that's
monster.
my friend.
Yeah. And Ice Storm.
Nice.
And that's what's
That's
in the
sick.
Yeah, that's what's in
There
the
we
book.
go, buddy. We got you upgraded. Welcome back.
Thank you.
Yeah.
Yeah, I'm thinking I'm back. Anyway, so Victor jumps out the window.
I just gave him a gift. I was nice to him.
Time to
No!
betray the party again. Let's go.
I can't I storm on the pie.
Time to be the villain.
That's awesome.
Awesome. Okay, yes. And then I also want to check on Eli. Eli, what are you doing this entire time?
Eli has been making repairs to Amity.
Okay. What's Eli's demeanor been?
Leak, he has been very quiet since they all got back over the past day, packing things away.
Mm-hmm.
Normally the first thing he does when Amity goes or is damaged is repair the first chance he gets.
Mm-hmm.
It took him pretty much a full day to get to it this time around. So he's mostly been in his workshop, quietly just making the repairs.
Okay. Anything else you would like to add for now, or would you like to leave that alone?
Leave it alone for now.
Understood. So, going back to Dash and Hellebore. So yeah, you're kind of in this empty room. Everyone's doing their thing. You kind of hear off in the distance Eli kind of, in his workshop, working on repairs for Amity. And the storage room itself seems kind of somber. You kind of got these two tanks over here, makeshift and hooked up, thanks to various open and exposed circuitry from Buddy and the ship, just trying to get this all, keep the tanks powered using the ship's power as well. So it's right now a complete mess of just wires and things like that to keep everything going. You see Isla here sitting on a chair, kind of just, having their consciousness transferred over to here. And you will also see that this doesn't really look so much like Karis. It almost looks like this is taking a form that appears like Karis, but you're uncertain of what Isla has done to that.
Okay.
Safe to assume, though, that you're uncertain, depending on the changes that are happening, if this will actually look like Karis, but you're uncertain of what form it'll take, and that'll take some time. So, Hellebore and Dash. Yeah, so the serious talk. What are you guys doing now that everyone has left the room?
So, what do you think of all this?
I don't know that what I think of all this really matters.
Sort of does.
I mean, I'm never gonna know what this has been like for you, or even Isla. I don't. I can sit here and say that I'm worried about it, that it makes me nervous. I don't think that's really helpful, though. It's obvious that you guys, that you both sort of want, I don't know, to be seen as and live as your own person. I think that makes sense.
But
How do you feel about all this?
a bit different now. Can I ask you something that may be a stupid question, or you might think it's stupid, or
Yeah, of course.
Would you still like me if I wasn't a part of Piper?
Yeah. I've never... I mean, this is our first time spending time as just us. Does that make sense?
Mm-hmm.
So... I think probably it's gonna feel different for a while, but what's on your mind?
After, seeing what happened to Dad. Again, it's gonna sound kind of crazy, but... And he's, like, tearing up a bit as he says all this. I don't know if I was ever Piper.
What do you mean?
Seeing what happened to Dad, things are lining up, I guess, now. I only showed up after Piper died. We have the flowers all in our body. I chose the name Hellebore because it felt right. I've always cared about protecting Piper and making sure he was safe, but I never felt like I was Piper. Part of me is just... Am I just a Hellebore that Evangeline put in his brainstem to keep him alive? I don't know if I was actually ever a part of him.
But you were.
Was
I know what you're saying. I think I do, but I've spent a lot of time with you, with both of you. You're your own person. And maybe that's not what you want to hear, but you're not just something that got planted. You have a heart and a mind. You have thoughts and opinions and feelings. Can someone just fabricate all of that?
It happened with Dad. Why couldn't it have happened with me? Maybe she did use modify memory after all this time, and we just didn't know.
I don't really know. I don't know how this stuff works. I don't understand the magic or any of that. So, but to me, you feel very real. I wouldn't... The idea that you're not a person, it doesn't... I don't know, that doesn't work for me.
Mm. I don't know. Now that it's just me
Yeah.
here, I'm realizing I'm so different from him, but everything I've ever known is him.
Originally that was what the theory was, right? That like the explosion happened and
Yeah, but I don't know anymore after seeing all of this, learning all of this.
Okay, so all right. So let's pretend that is what happened. It's worst case scenario, right?
I'm a plant. Yes, worst case scenario.
Yeah, which would be, yeah.
I am a flower living in a brainstem, yeah.
But do you still, I mean, that's not all you are anymore. You know?
Yeah.
He'll like put a hand on Hellebor's back and kind of rub it and feel out the situation if that's like a welcome thing.
Yeah, he'll lean into him.
Like I said, I don't know what this is like. I've never known what this has been like for you guys. But if you're worried that, you know, where you've come from, not having answers to that it sort of invalidates you as a person, or I think now with the two of you separate, as sad as that is, I think this is an opportunity for you to figure out who you want to be, you know?
Mm-hmm.
You're not sharing the space with anybody anymore.
Yeah, it's bittersweet in a way.
Yeah.
It was never lonely, always had somebody to bounce ideas off of, and I guess we can still do that. It's not like he's gone. Just, try to keep him from punching me when he wakes up.
Yeah, I will.
I feel like that's gonna happen.
Hey, I'm really sorry about your dad. We'll go back for him.
We'll figure it out.
Yeah.
I guess I should talk about this before, You're better at keeping an eye on us than we are, but I know what he was thinking before he went in there.
What do you mean? Like, Piper?
Mm-hmm.
Okay. Is it something I should know?
Mm-hmm. Lily is our only real family, you know that.
Yeah.
He's gonna do anything. Don't let him do something stupid.
I don't know if you've noticed, but you guys tend to just do stuff without telling anybody. But I'll do my best.
Yeah, that's why I'm kind of living with the same, like, I've been in your head, I know when you're gonna do something stupid, so I'm kind of, like, bouncing off that right now.
Sure.
I'm, like, trying to preemptively, like, get a warning out there because I feel like it's definitely gonna happen. So, you know, I'm just putting it out there.
Okay. Can I ask you something?
Yeah.
Are you gonna... if all this, like, existential dread gets really overwhelming for you, will you tell me if you need to, like, step away from all this? Or, I don't know, just don't vanish, okay?
I'll try to stick around.
Okay.
I can tell you right now, I'm probably gonna need a break. I need to figure out what any of this is now.
You stay in my old apartment with Cheddar and Molly.
No, I'll stick around with you guys for sure, but
Okay. I'm just saying, if you want space, there's a cool cat and a somewhat mean roommate waiting.
I miss that cat. He deserves some new parts. We'll get that fixed up soon.
Yeah, I miss him too.
I had another idea.
Yeah, what's up?
It's something for you to do, but I don't know if it's a good idea or not.
Okay.
You should call your brother. I don't know if he'll pick up. I don't know what's going on over there. But Lily was with him.
Yeah, I've been thinking that too.
You can use my phone
look
if
out the
you
window.
want. I can be here with you while you do it.
Okay. Now? Right now?
No, you can do it whenever you want to, babe.
Okay. Yeah, just, yeah. Yeah.
You want to use my phone?
Yeah, I'll just do it now.
Okay.
Hold out his hand. Yeah, he'll try to call Cooper.
All right. You type in the phone, you call, or place the receiver onto your ear. It rings. It rings. It rings. It rings. It disconnects.
He didn't answer.
Nothing.
No. I'll close the phone and hand it back.
Yeah. Sounds about right.
When you reach out with magic, can you tell where the person is?
No.
Okay.
I can talk to them though. I'm scared to talk to them though. Once I didn't get an answer from Lily, I tried to call I tried to do a sending to Mom, and whoosh, a loud scream and made my ear bleed. Which Mom has never heard us before, from our knowledge at least, so something.
Do you think she knows what happened out here?
Probably. Something bad must have happened though for her to hurt us though.
Yeah.
She would never. You know she would never.
I mean, I'm wondering if we even. Sorry, I know she's not my mom, but like.
Oh, it's okay. She was pretty much your mom.
I mean, what do we know, really?
Once we get back to IO and I can get some spell components, we can find out.
Okay.
Otherwise, I'm on a blank slate.
We'll get it figured out. I'll take care of you guys.
Thanks. Just, he's not gonna let me get through to him anymore now that I can't physically make him listen to me. But just keep reminding him that when he comes out of there, he'll need it.
Yeah.
He's in a bad spot.
You should get some sleep.
I don't know if I can. I have to babysit idiot number 1, and I'm also keeping an eye on Isle over there.
Yeah. I mean, I can keep watch while you take a nap or something, you know?
You're sweet. And he'll like reach up and ruffle Dash's hair.
Yeah, Dash will sort of like pull him into more of a hug and kiss the top of his head. just look out the window.
All right. So between the two of you, you guys are sleeping, correct?
I think if Hellebore agrees to sleep, Dash will stay awake in case something happens with the chambers.
Take a nap.
All right. So Dash, where would you be sleeping?
Oh, I don't know.
Like against like a wall? Would you try? Like, I'm assuming you wouldn't be leaving the storage room, because I'm assuming Hellebore is not leaving the storage room, correct?
Yeah.
Yeah, it's a cuddle puddle here on the floor.
Yeah, if I'm like staying awake and keeping an eye on the chambers, then yeah, he would sit on the floor next to Hellebore, but he wouldn't sleep. He would just kind of chill.
But he would sleep eventually, is what I'm asking.
Yeah.
Okay. So, and that is where we'll go from there. So, at some point during sleep hours, Dash will be resting against the wall. And Hellebore, what are you doing while Dash is sleeping?
He's probably in and out. He knows that he needs to sleep, so he's probably like in and out of sleep, waking up every few hours, but then like waking up at the top of the hour, be up for a few minutes, like check on everything, and then go back to sleep.
So you keep kind of fading in and out, you're saying? Yeah. Okay. So at one point, give me 1 second. So at one point, while you're kind of like fading in and out, you'll sort of wake up, like as you come into consciousness, and you will see your mother looking into the container
Neat.
while Dash is asleep.
He'll sort of get startled, but he sort of thinks it's a dream.
Mm-hmm. And so, yeah, you're startled a little bit. You're kind of, are you quiet?
For the moment, yeah. He just looks at her.
She's not looking at you. She's looking at the container. And she'll say, "No dream, Rosebud." And then she'll kind of like look over at you and say, "But I'm not here either. So don't do anything hostile."
Can I wake him up? I'm sure he has questions.
She shakes her head and kind of gives a hushed sound. Like she kind of puts her finger to her lips as if to say, "Shh, no. I was hoping you and I can have a conversation."
Yes, ma'am.
And she motions you over as she kind of like begins walking over into the center. Her smile hasn't faded. She kind of like motions to you like, come on, get up.
He'll hop up on a box and sit.
Mm-hmm. She looks over at what's happening here, and she stares back over. And she looks at you, and she'll lean against the box a little bit. Her smile becomes a little more neutral as she folds her arms. And she'll say, "Ah, my little bud. I imagine you've been through quite an ordeal."
Not as much as him. And he'll like look over his shoulder at Piper.
She smiles a little bit and says, "You are incredibly clever. A gift from your father, no doubt?"
Mm-hmm.
And she turns it back over to you. "I'm afraid I wasn't entirely myself when you contacted me. Your father, does he still live?"
I'm worried what you're gonna do if we did tell you.
What do you mean?
Yes.
She nods. "I'm assuming he had taken shape?" Looks over at you.
Yes. Fitting image of Talus.
You are aware, of course, as I'm sure I've told you before, that Hellebore was not his surname, but mine.
Mm-hmm.
I'm going to miss him. And I'm uncertain if you showed him a kindness or are merely prolonging his suffering, but I suppose it matters not at this point. It's all over, as many of my stories tend to end in misfortune. But there is a shining light, a gleam of hope. And you'll see as she kind of places her hand on your cheek. And you can almost feel it for a moment, resting on your cheek.
Mm-hmm. What happened?
She looks down. And she looks back up to you, almost as if to just like disregard the question. And she'll say, "There'll be plenty of time for that, my dear. But with this gift your father has given you, the two of you are truly separated. That is remarkable. Very much impressive. You are afraid of the truth, aren't you, my son?"
We always have been. Here I go saying we again.
She taps at your head a little bit and says, "You have taken shape into a brilliant young man." She smiles and looks down and says, "One of my many sorrows, I suppose, was my inability to have children. I did have a child once, a long time ago. My darling Gasper, my flesh and blood. But ever since then, never again would I have a child. I've lived many lives before this one, my dear. This isn't my first. But, and she looks over at you. This one had such remarkable reward. My own flesh and blood. My own son. She places her hand on your cheek again.
What do you mean, other lives? What happened to him?
Him? She'll say, looking over at Piper almost dismissingly.
No, your son.
Lives ago, you are my son, dear boy. A simple bloom placed upon my adoptive son's head to ensure all would be peaceful and in control. It is something I've done many times before. But then the accident happened. And your bloom took shape into the beautiful boy I see now. And she kind of places both her hands on your cheeks now. What is Helibor's reaction?
He just kind of lets her and, like, touches her hand. What happened to Lily? Please. At least he deserves to know.
My son, do we need to get into such sour conversation? I know you think this matters. I know you think this is your world, but now there is so much more that you can look forward to.
Like what? What am I gonna look forward to? My family's falling apart.
No, it's not. Your true family is here, right here. And she looks at you. I know you don't understand it. I know that you think that this is everything that you have, but... But it's not. It's just the beginning. My dear, I'm willing to believe that you are capable of living beyond mortal means. My son, you're going to outlive all of them now. Especially now that you and Piper are separated. Sure, he has his mortal coil, but you, well, you've passed on beyond. Ever since that accident, ever since you grafted yourself as the young man you are today, my dear son, you're going to outlive all of them, as I have outlived all of them, all of my families, all of them, my dear boy. And now, here you are, a true, genuine family. I know it's hard to say dismiss them, but you must, for your sanity, my dear son.
How old are you? How old am I? When?
Well, the bloom that was placed in Piper's brain had, I suppose, has the same age span as I do, since it came from me. But you, as an individual, had just come to be a matter of years ago, I suppose. As for me... And she looks at you, and she kind of looks past you. And she'll say, well, I've been here since the very beginning. when the original Iodians betrayed Cosma. When the new Io came to be, I was left to witness this new civilization. I'm afraid, my dear son, I'm as old as Io itself. My son, Gasper, was the first iteration of Void. The reason why I can't give children today. I have witnessed many a cosmic battle, many a times, where this world should have been destroyed a long time ago, and the conclusion I came to, my dear boy, is that it doesn't matter. None of this matters, son. Because I've seen it all. I've seen the rise and fall of many of civilizations. I've seen the planet shatter. I have seen it. And I'm tired. I'm tired of being truly alone. But I am not alone now. Because now, here you are. A second chance to be a real mother. To have you as my son. For you and I to live for the rest of our days, however long we have, together. This is a lot to digest. And I know how much you respect your friends and how much you love them and treat them as they are your own family. But I've come to ask you to make a request. She places her hand on your cheek again. Join me. Join me in Keld. We can leave the planet before it all ends. And you and I can make a new life for ourselves.
What do you mean before it all ends?
It seems a presence has made itself known in Asmodia. One that will finish the job that its sibling had failed so long ago. One Cosma Tara. Are you familiar with the name of the clan of Cosma?
A bit. I was already contacted by some shadow hunters about it.
I don't think they'll win this time, dear. Which is why it is important that you and I leave this wretched planet before it is finally utterly destroyed by these new Iodians who thought they themselves can become gods.
What do you mean by that?
I'm uncertain of what you know of the history of Io, but it is a planet of invaders, my dear son. A planet of greedy pillagers who had taken it from even what I would consider a noble civilizations of individuals. Took it for themselves, made the resources their own, even terraformed the planet into their image. These selfish individuals think they can play God. Well, it has taken some time, but I believe they will pay for their transgressions, and they will pay for the defilement of Cosma, and Io will cease to be. Because I, my dear son, will make sure of it. I will help Cosmotara. I will end this cycle of pain and hatred and grief and greed. It needs to end, my son. Her hand still rests upon your cheek.
He sort of looks at the ground.
Farah.
Hmm?
My original name before I took on Evangeline. My name was once Farah. Do you understand?
Can I do a history check?
Yep.
Okay, just,
And do so at advantage.
Okay. Yep.
I think you can come to the conclusion.
Yep. You've been here all this time?
Clever boy. A piece of Cosmofar, yes. Specifically that of the source of arcane and the magics. What actually makes Cosmofar dietic in nature. I am but a fragment. I was sent from the corpse of Cosmofar over here to keep an eye on the greedy Ionians. And I went by the name Farah. I birthed the first Void Star. I have done everything that I can to ensure that these new Ionians have received their justice from the clan of Cosma. And, well, gone back and forth on my mission. But this time was different. This time, instead of flaying family, I thought that maybe I should settle down and have a family. Please understand, I do love Piper, Ignatius, Billy, all of the friends that you made. I was ready. I was ready to give it all up. And then she looks over at Dash. Until his father had to interfere with his zealotry, his ties to false gods, and just mucked it all up. Oh, Hellebore, it was going to be a beautiful ceremony. Peace would have been made with our enemies. And simply wed Lily and Cooper. His father wanted nothing to do with it. And I must admit, the cheeky bastard, even strong enough to withstand some of my more compelling magics. And that's all I needed. That's all he needed. A brief moment of doubt. It all fell apart. The hellebores immediately went into bloom, killing everyone. And then she looks over to you. Yes, they're dead. They're all dead. Lily, Cooper, that entire group of fanatics, the entire city of Kelt. Dead. So you'd see, my dear son, we're done here. We are all done here. So, I will grant you, and you alone, safe passage to Kelt. This will be your one and only chance that I am giving you, my son. You are the gift of life, one that I had not seen in quite some time. But now that I know how to produce life from the hellebore bloom, if you defy me, I will simply create another. But I don't want to do this. So please, do not mistake my kindness as a weakness. I'm afraid I must know now.
We just split. I just promised Ash that I wouldn't do that. I wouldn't disappear randomly. He's gonna wake up and he's gonna have nothing if I'm gone.
All right. You care for the feelings of this boy, yes?
Yes.
Why?
Because it's felt like nobody's cared as much since them.
But how could you know that? Remember, you have just come into existence years ago, my dear son. You don't even know what it is to feel love. If, for all you know, this could be a fling. Now, there's been plenty of times I felt I've been in love in this wretched planet that I've lived on. Plenty of times. Sure, things may end in sadness, but a new story can always be written, my dear, dear boy. And I know it's hard to understand that, and I understand that you believe that he is the one and only for you. But there will be others. Trust me, as someone that has been walking this wretched surface for far too long, there will be others, my dear son.
There won't be others if everything's gonna be gone, like you said.
Just Io? What did you think, the entire universe was going to blow up? No. Hell, even Io itself, those cockroaches, will continue to scatter amongst the sea of stars. The planet itself must be wiped clean, my dear son. There will be others. I'm aware of universes far beyond our sea of stars. There are societies even with the dead space. Many who worship Cosmofar. This constant belief that the dead space is nothing. There is life brimming within there. This is just a speck in the grand tapestry of life, dear boy. You're thinking too small. Clearly, I'm not getting through to you.
I need to stick around for a bit to at least help Piper get on his feet.
No, you don't have to do that. In fact, I'm asking you not to do that.
Why?
All of this is a previous life, my dear boy. It's just you and me now. Sure, I, once upon a time, loved him as a son, but now I have a true son. You, my dear boy. We don't need him anymore. We don't need any of them anymore. Your father, she does that in air quotes, is currently a monster drowning away in some underwater lab, that weakling. It's just you and me now, my beautiful son.
Weakling?
Oh, what? Did you happen to think that he was behind Assad? He wanted nothing to do with them. I had to encourage him. And now, all of our enemies are at the front gate, at the planet of Io. Ganymedians, New Ionians, all of them are upon its surface. And now, with Cosmatara through the breach, in one fell swoop, all of our enemies will be destroyed, my dear son, and I don't want that to happen to you. Those that are powerless, they need a glimmer of hope, you see. That's why the Ganymedians thought they could take over Io. That's why the New Ionians thought they could take over Io, and now they are all here. And with Cosmatara through the breach, they will all die. Along with this miserable planet that is just hanging on to dear life. Your father didn't have that vision. I did. It's amazing what you can do to a man's mind with just the slightest twitch of the hellebore flower. I don't like to do it too often, of course. I enjoy the illusion of free will. But no, I'm sorry. I keep referring to him as your father. No, Ignatius was a bastard. He thought too small, and he got what was coming to him. And you may not see that now, but inside your mind, you know it's the truth. And so I ask you, one final time, join me in Keld, alone. You can even warn your friends to not return to Io. You'd be sparing their lives. I don't care. But you arrive to Keld, you alone, and we will leave this miserable planet together. Yes?
You'll take me right now?
I'm afraid I won't be able to take you from here. You'd have to make the trip on your own. Just have them drop you off at the outskirts, dear. I will make sure that the hellebore welcomes you warmly.
Okay.
She turns to you. I'm sorry, what was that?
I'll figure it out by the time we get there.
No, we, my dear. Just you. I'll know if you're lying. You know I know that when you're lying.
I know.
You may have been born from me, my dear boy. But don't think that you can deceive me because of my love for you. If you wish to side with them, so be it. But I will exterminate you as I will them. You want to save their lives? Tell them. Tell them everything. Tell them all, and then have them run away. Like the cowards and the insects that they are, my dear son.
I'll do that then.
That's a good son. I'm looking forward to seeing you in Keld. You will... I have so much I need to show you. She smiles, placing her hand on your cheek once again. And she nods. One way or another, we shall meet again. You kind of watch as her illusion vanishes in front of you.
He'll just sort of walk back over and slump to where he was, but like kind of banging his head against the window.
All right. Is there anything else that you guys would do on the ship before landing?
Around what time is it?
Well, well, that's why I'm trying to figure out. Because it is a couple of days. So it depends on if there's anything that would be said. Would Hellebore share anything with the party?
He'd probably need a bit to process it. I think he plans to tell everybody once everybody is out of their cocoons, meaning Isla and Piper.
Okay. All right. Eli, is there anything that you are... anything else anyone else would be doing? Otherwise, I'm going to assume that this is a sort of a quiet rest of the trip.
Crying?
Sorry,
Uncontrollably?
Crying, gotcha. Yeah, that's, that sounds about right.
At some point, Eli would have sought out Logan.
Okay. It within the ship itself?
Yes.
During the travel? Okay.
I mean, when would this have been? Day-wise?
Well, everything that happened was day one. Eli
sure, but you said it would take 5 days, so I'm just asking...
It'll take a couple of days to arrive back to Io.
Oh, I meant in the course of the trip, when is Snake going to come see me?
Oh, I think during the second day. Does that sound good to you?
Yeah, probably around the second day.
Okay, yeah. Feel free to go to where you need to go.
Yoop. Son of a bitch. No, not in there.
Don't talk to him. His workshop, you go south. Ew. Walks away.
Yeah, I think I would... Where's the least amount of... Where are the rooms? The bedrooms are on the other side, right?
No. You would be sleeping in the cells.
No. What is this over here?
That like Buddy's room.
Really?
Yeah.
Goddamn
Man,
right.
You slept in the front where Victor is last time.
Yeah,
remember?
he's a bounty hunter, not a luxury cruiser.
Also, he's tiny, so that's a
I'm up here
king-size
with my
room.
boy. I'm up here with my new boy. That other boy, trash. New boy, the winner.
Yeah. I do like the idea, though, of you going back to that room and being like, get the fuck out. This is my bedroom. And Victor being like, what?
What?
I still like the idea that the two sides are both front in the open, so Victor can just stare longingly at Logan and Buddy in the cockpit, having like a bromance moment.
Well, Eli is seeking you out, so would you have him seek you out in the cockpit?
Oh, I'm up in the cockpit. I'm with this dude.
All right. Eli, are you heading to the cockpit then?
Yeah,
Okay. Would you like me to move you there?
please.
I would be more than happy to. How's everyone doing? Heavy moments.
If Logan goes to sit down, Buddy goes, no, that seat. Ever sit in the back seat?
Well, where the hell's the back seat?
It's the captain's seat.
Should we switch then?
I can't sit in that seat. I'm not the captain.
Well, okay. He just stands next to it awkwardly. Is this better?
Yeah.
Cool.
I mean, you know what? You could sit in my seat. I'll stand there.
Oh, okay.
It's all on autopilot anyways. You don't really have to do anything.
Not much.
I feel like you're the captain. Shouldn't you sit there?
No. That was above this chair. Always meant to be.
Okay then. I'll awkwardly sit here. What
No,
do
I'm
these
fine.
doodads do?
Don't push anything, okay? Look, it's very hard to crash in space, but there have been stories of people doing it. I don't want to be on that list.
I wouldn't want to crash in space. I'm just curious what they did.
And we'd go through every single one of those 483 buttons.
This one that looks like a trapezoid, what does it do?
That releases all the cargo.
Do we have any cargo?
I don't know, but if someone walks through the cargo bay, that's an emergency release, so it doesn't play the alarm, and they'll just get sucked out into space.
Excellent to know. He stores it in his weird mind palace that maybe one day he will need to use that.
His eyes there. I don't like that I told you that.
What does this button do? The one... I'm not even sure what shape this is. Almost like a sprocket?
Oh. Well, they just plays a little jingle. I haven't hooked that thing up to anything.
Where does it... Did you attach something to it and that's how it plays?
No, I have no idea. That came with it.
Can I press it?
Go for it.
I press the button.
Your seat lowers. Classic. No, I don't know a jingle in this ship, okay? I know what every single one of those buttons does, and I don't want you pressing all the damn buttons.
Well, how do I raise it? My knees are at my neck.
See the button that looks like like an upside down sprocket?
I'm not sure I know what that is.
He just... Sorry, Eli. He's going to lean across, just press the button to raise the chair and flip back around. Stop pressing buttons.
Okay. Hello, Eli. Sorry. What might we help you with?
As you just see the seats just adjusting back and forth, back and forth.
Eli has been watching this entire affair. Covered in soot and oil. His glasses are hanging off of his nose. And he responds by simply saying, "Thought you were sick."
Oh, yes, I guess the chair's all yours.
I'll give you guys the room.
Oh.
Scurry.
Logan, like the captain he feels he is, sits back in Buddy's chair. So, what would you like to talk about?
He directs his gaze out the cockpit. I think this is my last stop.
What do you mean? As in, you won't be continuing on with us when we arrive?
Nah. I've been here to, at first, admittedly, it was to keep you in check.
Ironically, I thought that was my job for you.
The Lamantos gave me an out, however long ago that was.
Yet you chose not to take it.
Yeah, I was afraid you'd get all of them killed.
What has changed since then?
You have, mostly.
Well, you know, I now know how to open the cargo hold, which could threaten all of us, so you may have to stick around to prevent that.
He'll glance back and sort of peer over at the console.
It's the trapezoid one.
I can disable that, it's fine.
No fun at all, are you?
Look, I've been here. First to keep you in check, and then to help you get closure for... It seems like he's struggling to say the words. What happened to your boy?
Well, thank you for that. I'm starting to discover that maybe I'll never get closure, but maybe that's not the point.
What is the point?
I'm not entirely sure. I'm hoping I'll find out one day, but maybe not knowing is part of this adventure we're on. I used to think I had some element of control, but it appears I have none. And so, much like this panel in front of me, I have no idea what to do with it. And all of you, so I remain here to see it through to the end, whatever end it might be. And I would welcome someone that I can trust on that journey. And he looks directly at Eli.
I don't think I'm cut out for that journey anymore. We've stopped a reactor that I barely understood from going catastrophic. We stood in the face of what I believed to be a god, and we walked away, and you know what nearly did me in? A beat prod with a chip on her shoulder. I make toys. I'm a toy maker. I was a toy maker. This right here, he holds up. He's been holding Amity's faceplate that he has yet to attach. A newly repaired, no less horrifying. This was the first thing I made for my little girl. Well, I modeled Amity after it. She's still out there. I haven't seen them in 7 years. You don't know what comes next. None of us do. But I know whatever it is, it won't be good for them, and I have to... If something happens, I need to know they're safe.
Logan stands up and walks next to you, staring out into the void, and says, if I could find my son again, I would walk away from all of this. You won't be stopped by me. And I know that when this began, I pulled you out of a cell and threatened you and made a complete ass of myself. If you need anything, I will be there to help you.
Help them first. They're if the last 4 days have been any indication, they're going to need it.
For you, my friend, I will do that. I wish you the best of luck. And I hope you find what you're looking for. And I hope you find peace.
I'll nod at that, and she'll also reach into a pocket and pull out the cell phone, shard phone. If I can help, I'm only a call away.
Logan takes the phone and pockets it and gives him a nod.
He breathes out, nods to himself. But I'll leave you to your doomsday device. He'll gesture to the panel.
Logan laughs. He goes, I'm not even sure which one that would be.
Look at it again. Are any of the buttons labeled?
I think it's mostly picture-based.
Yeah, it does not touch any of those.
That one with the bomb icon. Let's not touch that one. All right. Is there any other business we need to attend to? Anything more before? Because I think we pretty much covered everything to wrap up this epilogue. Okay. Then I'm going to go ahead and just hide everyone real quick. As the trip would continue, you all would land back in Lwendalin. It's kind of the major open starport of Kathos. I will say that as you pass by specifically the Hellebore estate, it is no longer there. It is just an empty.
What?
It is just an empty plot of land.
My drugs! She took my drugs!
It is completely vanished and gone. So, we will start season 4 with you guys landing at the port. Everyone having their chances to say goodbye to Eli. For those that were curious, no, Snake is not leaving the party. Snake will be playing a new character, which will be introduced in the 4th season.
Oh,
But
His name is Al.
dude.
He's
But
a tiny critter.
but
I need
Eli
my weekly snake.
but Eli is being retired officially.
Oh,
Aw.
As per Snake's wishes.
Yes.
It makes sense.
yeah,
makes-
no, it's the sweetest
It makes
goodbye.
sense
Yeah,
for
this
him
was
to
really-
walk away.
this-
Yeah.
This
makes-
is a good outro.
Yeah. We're uncertain. Is it fair to say we're uncertain what Hellebore is going to do? Summer?
I will say right now, Hellebore will be taking a back seat at the beginning of next season for sure.
Okay.
Piper will be the more active one.
So yeah, that's the next thing I wanted to bring up since we did wrap up the epilogue, was an above board mechanics standpoint. So, and this is up to Joe, of course, because Buddy might peace out. The idea is the Moon Blaster is essentially going to turn into your mobile base of operations, with Buddy at the cockpit. Because we do have 2 players that have multiple characters, I am happy to let you guys know that you don't have to retire any of your characters, meaning that Joe currently has Victor and Buddy. and Summer currently has Piper and Hellebore. The mechanic is as thus. You will be attached with sort of these makeshift low-power teleporters. So when you complete a long rest, Joe and or Summer can swap their characters for what's in the party. So if there's a time where you're like, yeah, I think I'm gonna play Buddy today, you'll have the freedom to do that. Or if Summer can alternate between Piper and Hellebore.
I need my minions today.
Because, yeah, we don't know what Piper is. We don't know what Piper's class is. So that'll be revealed later. Also, this one needs a little bit more work. Because you will have essentially an HQ communication, you will be able to communicate back with the characters. And because you will have access to the ship and the knowledge and information attached to it, you guys are able to do skill checks as if you are proficient in a skill, even though you were not. However, the outcome of that skill check takes 1 minute. So it's something that you probably wouldn't be able to do like in combat scenarios or anything like that. But essentially, if you're like, we need a history check, we need a nature check, blah, 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 you can essentially report back to HQ, and a minute later, you will be able to do a check as if you were proficient in that skill.
That's neat.
So those are, yeah, those are the new mechanics that have been introduced into season 4 is character swapping, and also a little bit of research. So essentially, you guys have knowledge of every skill, essentially.
I'm sorry, part of me is terrified of the idea of Buddy and Hellebore being left alone on the ship together and what mischief they're gonna do.
Oh, it's many role plays.
They're gonna get so high, dude.
But as I have said, and as you definitely have seen, season 4 is definitely going to be an even darker season than all the other seasons you guys have done so far. Because we've actually gained insight as to who Lady Hellebore actually is. Yes, and Pinchy is also going to be changing their classes. So yeah, they'll get new art and everything for that.
Magic bug. Magic bug.
We love our bug.
Yeah. So yeah, with that, I will consider that a wrap up of the epilogue. So thank you guys so much.
Good job, guys.
Did everyone enjoy themselves today? Hopefully story wasn't too heavy for anyone.
Yeah.
My whole family's dead.
His whole family's dead.
My whole family's dead, dude.
Just good shit. Just real.
Shit's crazy.
I can't wait for Hellebore to tell Dash that next season, episode 1.
Yeah. Episode 1. Hey Dash, can I talk to you for a sec?
Yeah.
baby, she killed everyone. They're all dead.
Yeah, I figured this would be a good like introduction and kind of give like both Hellebore and Dash the ability to like figure out what the appropriate response is after everything that's happened. So
baby, my mom killed your entire family and everybody else in the village. Don't be mad at her. Teehee.
Teehee.
Also, she wants to whisk me away because the planet's gonna get blown up. I love you so much. I'll see you. Bye.
And she's totally disowned everybody else.
Yeah, yeah.
I'm just surprised that Hellebore's theory was right.
She's kind of
so
fucked.
quickly.
She was fucked. Yeah, well, that you were talking about, I was like, oh, well, man, we're not gonna have any any suspense built on that because that was planned to be revealed today. Awesome. Really good stuff.
He had a theory. I was like, oh, the theory was right. Oh.
Oh no. All right. Well, we've got no bingo today. And I would like to save fan art for next time at the beginning of the season, if that's all right with you. Just because, yeah. But that is it for now. Guys, thank you so much for being part of this epilogue, and season 4 will begin May 30th. Does that sound good with you?
Sounds good with me.
Yeah.
All right, I'll see you guys later. Bye-bye.
Bye-bye.